Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. This is a little ambush from me, a little surprise video, but I just had to respond. I actually got a message just from StreamYard here saying volume is high at the moment. So when I actually pressed the launch button, it didn't launch first time. I guess a lot of people are making videos, aren't they, about about the situation. So look, what I'm going to do as part of this, I'm going to play you guys a snippet of a video I made on May 28th, 2024. Yeah, so as we've seen, we've received the decision today. So just to let you know, what time is it here for me? It is now just gone past midnight, so it's 12 minutes past midnight, which is now the 2nd of July, 2024. Of course, you guys in America, it's still the 1st of July. So this message, this thingy-bob has come down on the 1st of July. The clip I'm going to show you is a prediction that I made from the 28th of May, 2024. Yeah, so obviously months back, yeah, when I was looking at this question. I mean, oh gosh, there's actually quite a few of you coming in. Of course, this wasn't planned. It wasn't like my usual Thursday fry. I've literally just gone on, seen it, and I've had to respond. So here people are saying, Denise Fletcher says, who else feels like this nightmare is never going to end? Bless. And then and then let's see here. Someone says, when I looked at Western chart this morning, I wondered about Pluto in opposition to Mercury at Hogarth's Global Astrology. All right, so what I would say is the important thing to bear in mind, and this is critical, and before I show you the clip, I just want people to know this is why I created this channel. It was just to shed light and educate and share the truth with people, particularly about where the stars and where the planets actually are, because where they actually are is of critical importance. I cannot emphasize this enough. You guys know this. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but for anyone that's new, new subscribers who may be seeing this and all of this kind of stuff, I've been saying this for ages. Pluto is not in Aquarius, yeah, in Western tropical. I mean, Pluto's retrograde right now, so they're saying, well, he's retrograding back into Capricorn, and then he's going to spend 20 years in Aquarius. No, unfortunately, no. Pluto is in sidereal Capricorn. Capricorn is about government, institutions, top-down structures. It is about tradition. It is about old things. Think about if you think about the royal family, for example, which I've been saying, Pluto's been going through. What is Pluto? Pluto is the breakdown of those things. Like when Pluto starts a transit, this is why I refer to it as the composting process, just like I was saying with Laura Chandler the other day, for those of you who saw that video. The composting process, the breaking down of old things, transforming into something else. But I've also been saying as well, Capricorn is a very conservative sign. So when you get Pluto, the planet of power, corruption, etc., going through sidereal Capricorn, I've been saying for years now, it can have the energy, it has a fascist tinge to it. Things start moving to the right. Look what's happening in France. I spoke about this years ago. I said with that election, didn't I? I said with Macron versus Marine Le Pen, I said the next time she's gonna win. Yeah, her far right party, Affronts National, has won the first round of voting. Now you've got the second vote that happens on July 7th. Yeah. And do you remember I said political earthquakes? We could be looking at a 28-year-old becoming the prime minister. Macron will still be the president, but we're looking at Jordan Bardella potentially becoming the prime minister of France. At 28, I said political earthquakes. On July 4th, we have the British elections where it looks like the Tories are going to be absolutely decimated. And then Labour could potentially have a supermajority. Yeah. But like I've been saying, this spirit of political earthquakes. Uranus is also we need to look at as well. Uranus is in sidereal Taurus. It moved into sidereal Taurus on the 1st of June 2024. It's not moving into Gemini, as they're saying in Western Tropical, because remember the 24 degrees ahead. It's actually in Taurus. And I said political earthquakes. There'll be real physical earthquakes and political earthquakes as well. Look at the political earthquake that has just happened. Yeah, we've got the situation, the unfortunate situation with what happened with Biden and in the debate. And today we've got the SCOTUS decision. Now, you remember I said they are dodgy. I said they are corrupt. I've been saying this for ages. They're going to do everything that they can to help duck Larange because they have an agreement. Do you remember I said always the lovers is turning up with them, or the two of cups keeps turning up, and them working hard and diligently and stuff like that. I said they're trying to help him. I said they can't, do it absolutely explicitly, but they've really obviously shown their hand. And I said they will probably send it back down again to the court to delay the time. Anyway, let me just show you the clip. I've got this lined up. I'm going to share my screen with you, and then you can see what I said explicitly on the 28th of May, 2024. Please watch that clip. I only need to show you about 4 minutes, and then we'll discuss the clip and what I predicted, yeah, on the tarot. And you've got to remember as well, think of all my predictions that I've been making on the astrology. Do you see how it's going the way I predicted? Because I'm reading the planets from their astronomical positions. I'm not saying that Western astrology doesn't work at all. Of course, look, a talented astrologer is a talented astrologer. But Vedic astrology is very, very accurate. It's very accurate. And as you know, I read a lot of charts, and I've been doing this a long time. I know I look younger than I appear, but I've been doing astrology now for 36 years, guys. So I've learned a thing or two. Anyway, enough. Let me just show you the clip, and then let's get into the dialogue. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And then what I'm going to be playing you is this clip from May 28th. You're obviously going to see I'm going to look a little bit different because my hair is shorter, because it was back in May. Anyway, so let's do share. See if there might be an advert that may come up. Forgive me, guys. Look here, we see she's wearing this very kind of virginal dress, and you have the flowers. And the whole idea here is that with the strength card, she's not using brute force on the lion. Do you see? And the lion is letting her open his mouth. So it's also showing the trust, because she's almost like she's got a divine power. She doesn't need to use force. However, when this card is reversed, it is the opposite of virtue. This can often even refer to bestial instincts or a moral corruption. Yeah, moral corruption. When it's the right way up, it's virtue. When it's reversed, it's moral corruption. So technically this card is reversed. So the moral corruption of who? Yes, certain Alito, yeah, has been working very hard on things, yeah, these plans, hammering out these plans, working hard, probably with a few co-conspirators, again, for entertainment purposes only, but you know what I'm saying? So when we look at that now, if we look what's in the middle, here we got the King of Pentacles. So here we go. It's the money men, but this could also be a certain Duck Larange as well. Yeah, he often turns up here. It can be, he's often the King of Pentacles. The King of Wands is another one for Duck Larange. The Star, but with my interpretation of the Star, sometimes the Emperor, but he's normally, or the Devil. Yeah. So here But what this is really talking about, I think this is talking about how the money changes hands behind the scenes. We already know with Justice Thomas that he's been accepting holidays, etc., and stuff like that. So is Alito. I think all of them pretty much. I don't want to tar them all with the same brush, but you know, backhanders and envelope stuff with cash and perks and stuff. I understand Eileen Cannon has also been treated a few holidays and stuff like that. So this is also the money men and women that are in the background support, shall we say. Now look at this. We get the victory card turning up here, but a victory for who? Is it a victory for those plans that Alito is working on? They're certainly focused on what? Someone's victory. So if we take this as Duck L'Orange, yeah, then it looks like Alito is working hard, maybe with others, going out there with his passionate, almost kind of frothing at the mouth kind of self. I mean, I think Hillary just said, she just said he's properly radical with these potentially less than saintly values in order to maybe potentially help that the orange one, yeah, or this is also as well can be benefactors, you know, lobbyists, stuff like that, but I'm interpreting that as well as Duck L'Orange to what? Assist in some kind of victory, yeah, over who? Look at this. We know when we're talking about politics, when the King of Cups turns up, particularly when we're talking about American politics, this can often talk about Biden. So the way I'm interpreting this, based on what I see in the cards and based on the past chart readings that I've done of Alito, and of course sharing that article, I didn't want to read the whole thing through for you. For me, this is very much about him working hard, passionately, with corrupt values to support Duck L'Orange, to assist him in a victory over Biden. Yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. And right, you see, that's what I said back on the 28th of May. And if we look today, look there, Marine Le Pen. I said the next time she'll win. I'll get that old video up that I did on Marine Le Pen and Macron. That was the presidential election. Now remember, Macron won the presidential election, but I said a few years in, because he's also having his Uranus opposition, which because he's sort of like in his mid-40s and stuff like that. That's happening to him. And I said the next time they face each other, I said she's going to win. Now she's not going to be the president, because it is not the presidential elections. But do you remember Macron? I said he was petulant on Hergele. I said he was petulant. He's thrown in the towel. This will be her protege, yeah, Jordan Bardella, who's 28 years old, who is likely to win the second round. We have to see if the other parties are somehow able to block, but they have the momentum. So there you can see these predictions that I've been saying coming true. And then there's a little comment down here. Someone give me a little bit of flack, you know, for discussing Kate at the time, who we now know is, you know, she's alive. And, you know, people say that, but at the end of the day, you know, I can talk about my own country from time to time. Anyway, I will leave it there. And I've been very restrained and very, very tasteful. And like, as you know, I've always been wishing Kate the best. And remember, I read cards on her and I said she's getting her strength back and she will return. But anyway, whatever. That's past news. That's old news now. Let's go back into let's do stop the share, and let's just go back into the substance of this. So guys, what do you think of that clip that I've shown you? Yeah, so you can see there it is. I've been saying, as you guys know, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but for anyone's new, I've been saying this for ages. I said they are corrupt. Now, they're not all completely corrupt, because we need to also understand that the more liberal ones, I can't remember which one, but I just saw the quote where basically let's say the non-extreme judges were like, okay, so Trump can basically, you know, assassinate his opponent, legal. Yeah, such and such, legal, you know. So obviously there's a lot of consternation, but you see how this also talks about political earthquakes. I said the Supreme Justice cannot be trusted for entertainment purposes only, but they are corrupt. I said they're trying to help Duck L'Orange because this energy of Pluto in Capricorn, not in Aquarius, deals with conservatism. Capricorn is a conservative sign. So we're having this weird thing going on because you've got Pluto coming up through sidereal Capricorn, but Saturn himself is now going through sidereal Aquarius, creating, you know, people wanting their freedom, you know, the proletariat, people wanting to fight for their rights and stuff like that. But Saturn is still a conservative planet. We need to remember this. So do you see part of the way that particularly the youth as well, if we use France as an example, but we see it in the wider world, what is Saturn? Saturn is all about time, karma, but he's also the planet of restrictions, boundaries. What's the main thing that's been discussed in the world? Of course, things like immigration and stuff like that. People are wanting things to be done about that. So you see, it's not just in America. That's one of the main things in France, but not just France. In Holland, in Germany, the majority, you know, of Europe, in Italy, for example. So what I'm doing is I'm describing the energy as it is, as it's unfolding. I know it's not the most comforting message, but like I said, you know, I don't do the hopium thing. Yeah, I try and be really, I believe it's better to know and be empowered, know what you're dealing with and how to harness those energies for yourself and your family, to transmute them into things that are more positive, but also as well to accept and understand that this is also a global phenomena. This is why it's happening everywhere, all at once. Yeah, it's not just America, but it's more acute in America because America is having its first Pluto return. It takes Pluto about 248 years to make his full return. America is about what? 250 years old. So because you're the only country at the moment, as far as I'm aware, that is currently about 250 years old, which is a first Pluto return, it's more acute for you guys. Also as well, America is in a very difficult dasha at the moment. They're in a Rahu dasha. The Rahu dasha is when everything is wild, over the top, outlandish, deals a lot with liars, tricksters of all sorts. You get tremendous variety as well. It's never boring. You know, a Rahu dasha is never boring, but this is when outlandish characters and charlatans can come to prominence. Yeah, so let me actually just do share. Let me just do share screen again, because I'm going to show you. Let's get 1 minute, 1 second. Let me first of all, let me get my software open. Crumbs, I should have done this. There we are. Let's just get this open here. I'll just get my software open, and we're going to together, we're going to look at the USA chart. Yeah, from the Vedic perspective in detail. So it's not going to be all about the chart, because obviously I want us to have a little chinwag and all of that kind of stuff. But what I'm trying to do is, as you see, what I've been passionately doing for years, I'm trying to educate everyone so everyone knows this is real. Yeah. Why are my predictions so accurate? Yeah, because I'm reading from the astronomical part of sky. And obviously, yes, I have intuition and stuff like that. And obviously other readers have been saying similar things and stuff like that. But I've been very specific for a long time. I said they are corrupt. So what I'm trying to say is that you have a justice, SCOTUS, where it's, what is it, 6-3 majority or something like that. And at least 3 of those are rabidly for Trump. I mean, they just are. There's no other word for it, is it? And I'm just opening the file. I've not done this screen share yet, but I'm trying to save my voice. Oh, I had a busy weekend. I was at my singing lesson today, so trying to get the vocal cords to relax. But you see all these discussions. There's just so much to discuss. There's just so much to talk about. There's so much going on. Let's go here and let's put here. Let's put here. Where is it? Country, USA, Declaration of Independence chart. Okay, let's open. Right, so that's open now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to look at the USA Declaration of Independence chart, and we're going to look at it from there. Yeah, so let's do share screen. I'm going to share entire screen. Do that. Do share. And then we'll have a little discussion. And then let's get this up. Come on, computer, don't do douchebaggy stuff. All right, here you are. So here is the Declaration of Independence chart. There are some quibbles about which chart and blah, blah, blah. Astrologers go, well, technically it didn't happen till a few years later and stuff like that. This chart works superbly. Yeah, because this is when America was birthed as a concept, as a nation. So this is the 4th of July, 1776, 6:30 p.m. In Pennsylvania. Yeah. Now, how pertinent? Yeah, because obviously the Tories have decided. Well, Rishi Sunak decided as well that July 4th would be the UK elections, and that turns out is looking like it might be a day of total Tory destruction. So do you see how there's these in the zeitgeist, this strange kind of things, and then Macron does a Rishi Sunak and calls a snap election as well, the shortest in history. Like I said, neoliberalism is dead, unfortunately. I mean, it really is, and I think they're just bailing. Yeah, I think it is. I think Macron has given up, and this was a fit of pique. Yeah, he's almost been like, go on then, do it, ruin yourselves. Very, very petulant. Anyway, so if we look here, we see that the nation of America is a Sagittarius rising. Yeah, in Western tropical astrology, it would be Capricorn, but actually, according to Vedic astrology, America is Sagittarius rising. Now, doesn't that make sense? What is Sagittarius all about? Spirituality, yeah, religion, laws, yeah, debates, fighting passionately for one's arguments, truth seeking. It's also known as the battlefield. Sagittarius is also bombastic, yeah, outgoing, and a confident sign. So if you think in terms of the nation of America, or that's very much how America comes across. It's fiery, it's very passionate. Yeah, sometimes things get a little bit wild and a little bit out of hand. Sagittarius is known as the battlefield. It is in Vedic astrology. That is what it's referred to. But the juicy stuff, the most important stuff, is here. We look at the second house. So what's the second house? The second house deals with money, asset classes of all kinds. It deals with family. It deals with speech. It deals with education. It deals with nourishment. Yeah, literally. It's the mouth, the face, neck, teeth, mouth, speech, education of all kinds. But it also deals with values. The second house deals with values. And what I've been saying for years you guys know now, I've been saying what this Pluto return is about what does America value? Which direction does it want to go in? What country or continent does it want to be? And the Sagittarius part is the fighting part. We're now in the teeth of the fight of America's future, what it stands for. This is what the Pluto, whenever a planet returns to its original place in the natal chart, there's always a little question. Well, this is a big question. Now, of course, the moon does that once a month. Yeah. The sun does that once a year. Venus and Mercury do that about once a year. Mars does it every 2 years. Jupiter will do it every 12 years. Saturn will do it every 29 years, 29, 30 years. Yeah. The slower, obviously the longer it takes for them to return. Of course, Pluto, like I said, takes 248 years. Whenever a planet comes back to its original place in the chart, whatever that planet stands for and the sign that it's in, it has to be completely re-evaluated. And something old has to die in order for something new to emerge. Let's not forget, the motto of Pluto is transform or die. Yeah. So this is a big deal. This is big Titanic energies, as you've heard me talking about ad nauseum. It's like childbirth. It's the birthing canal. Once the birthing process has started, no one can be like, push the baby back in. I want to give birth next month. Yeah. Who's ever heard that? That's never happened in the history of humankind. It's a process. Yeah. It's a process that has to be gone through. And, it is a very risky one, as we know. So if we look here, where it says TR, that means transits. This is where the planets are right now, according to Vedic astrology, and their astronomically correct positions in the heavens. Yeah. Here you will see Pluto is retrograde, and it is currently at 7 degrees 9 minutes. So remember, whenever a planet is also retrograde, it means review, revise, reassess, recalibrate. You will also see Saturn is retrograde too. Saturn went retrograde on the 29th of June, 2024, just a couple of days ago. Yeah, but he was slowing up. So again, there is that energy of review, revise, reassess, recalibrate. We had the debates that happened, which has been a bit of a political earthquake. Let me just tell you as well, folks, there's not just surprise and now obviously we have to see, Biden did do a good speech the next day. He did have a teleprompter, but he did do a good speech the next day. We'll have to see how he bounces back. But what I'm describing is, because I describe the energy. I share these insights so that we can be fortified. Yeah. So that we can understand, that we can make sense of things. And even though it may not necessarily always be a pleasant message, but it's not why I started my channel. Genuinely, I feel privileged, and it's wonderful, this support that all of you have given to my channel, and I really, really appreciate it. But believe it or not, really, I didn't do it to be popular, to say popular things. What I'm saying now is not popular. What I've been saying for years is not popular because it's difficult, isn't it? But I know you guys appreciate the message that I'm sharing, because ultimately it is an empowering message, because when we know why things are as they are, we gain an insight. This is what I give to all my clients. And it's so liberating for them. It's so freeing from them when I'm able to explain, aha, your mother was like this because of this. Your father was like this because of this. Your brother was like this because of this. Your sister was this way because of this. Your husband was this way because of this. Your wife was this way because of this and that and the other. Yeah. Mundane astrology is that's personal, obviously personal astrology. Mundane astrology is then describing the world or countries. Yeah. So the reason why everything is so intense is because Pluto, after his journey around the sun, so imagine this is the sun in the middle here, it's taken him 248 years to come back to his original position. And that happened in early February. He was going direct for a while, but now you can see he's going retrograde again and coming back down to his original degree of 6 degrees 48 minutes in USA's birth chart, the Declaration of Independence chart on 1776, July 4th. Yeah. So he's coming down and he's coming back to that, and then he's going to go over it, and then it's going to be a long transit. So here it's in the sign of Capricorn. So even though, as we know, Sagittarius is known as a freedom-loving sign, it's a freedom-loving sign, gregarious, outgoing, but Capricorn is a conservative sign. And Pluto is intensity. Pluto is also power struggles. So as liberal as America is, as Sagittarian as it is, there is always been a deeply conservative side to America as well. Yeah, if we think of the Puritans, for example, that came over on the Mayflower and all of this kind of stuff, it's always been there. But now that 250 years or 248 years have passed, there's now what? A resurgence, a reevaluation of those things. What's going to happen? Is America going to be more of a liberal leaning country, or is it going to go down the much more conservative route, a la Project 25? Yeah. Which is basically Gilead on steroids. I mean, that's what it is. So do you see? These are the big tectonic forces at play. And of course, for every country around the world, for every human being on Earth, all of us are having Pluto in Capricorn going through one of our houses, whichever, depending on the ascendant. So, for example, if you are, let's start with Sagittarius. If you're Sagittarius ascendant, Pluto is happening in your second house. If you, if your Capricorn ascendant is happening in your first house. If your Aquarius ascendant is happening in your 12th. If your Pisces ascendant is happening in your 11th. Is that right? Yeah. That'd be 1, 12, 11. Yeah. If you are Aries, it's happening in your 10th. If you're Taurus, it's happening in your 9th. If you're Gemini, it's happening in your 8th. If you're Cancer, it's happening in your 7th. If you are Leo, it's happening in your 6th. If you're Virgo rising, it's happening in your 5th. If you are Libra rising, it's happening in your 4th. If you're Scorpio rising, it is happening in your 3rd. Yeah. And then Sagittarius happening in the 2nd. So do you see, depending on where the ascendant is? So everyone on planet Earth, every company, we all are having this Pluto return in Capricorn for everyone. But for America, shall I say, we're all having Pluto in Capricorn. But for America, it is also a Pluto return as well. If we look down here as well, now, do you see, here's the date here. Now we're going to go forward in time to the current times, and you're going to see what dasher America is in. And again, you know, there are not these, Western astrology doesn't have this stuff. Again, not to be bad, but do you know what I mean? It just doesn't. To be able to describe, let me trying to get, 1 minute. Trying to get up to the modern day. Oh, here we go. So if we look here, now this again is how pertinent is this? Now remember I said Rahu Dasha. Most people that come to me for consultations, they're either in their Saturn Dasha, Ketu Dasha, or Rahu Dasha. Most people. Those that are in their Rahu Dasha, it's like their life is just turned upside down. It's like they're on a roller coaster. They meet crazy things, situations, they move house. It's kind of wild, yeah? Rahu is a wild driver, and it can be wonderful, brings a lot of variety and change, technological innovation, etc., all of this kind of stuff. But he does deal, the shadow of Rahu is liars, cheats, charlatans. Remember that. And that's what I've also got as well. Pardon me. On momentum. We get here. Yeah. It's also what I put, yeah, in the book. Yeah. The Candid Guide to Neo-Vedic Astrology. If you've not done so yet, many of you have, but if you haven't done, if you really want to understand this, I urge you. I mean, the reviews are fabulous, as everyone knows, but read it. It's really going to help. Not only just help you understand America if you're watching from the States, it will help you understand your own country, but it'll also help you understand your family, your loved ones, your relationships. Yeah. So going back to what I was saying, the Rahu Dasha is wild. Now remember, it deals with thieves, liars, charlatans. Guess when America's Rahu Dasha started? Look at this. Here, where it says Ra, that means Rahu. Yeah, we just abbreviate to 2 letters. Whenever a Dasha starts, it's use the analogy of your soul in the backseat of a car. Yeah, it's always that planet who owns that Dasha that is the driver, and then the drivers change. Yeah. Now, if we look here, you see where it says RA, that's when the Rahu Dasha for America began, which favors what? Charlatans, liars, and outlandishness. That started on the 24th of September, 2015. Think about the timing of that. Think about the timing of that, yeah? And then if we look here, Rahu Jupiter, 7th of June, 2018, etc. Remember, it wasn't so long after that a certain someone came down the escalator. Yeah. And you remember the Simpsons predicted it as well, even with the sign falling off. Yeah. I mean if you really want to know the future, just watch the Simpsons. I kind of bow to them because they are just unbelievably prophetic. But that's what I'm showing you. And look, and it is one that lasts, for a long time. It is a long Dasha. Does it mean it's going to be absolutely wild and completely bonkers, for 18 years? No, not necessarily. But you're certainly in the intense part now, yeah, because of what's happening. So let me just do the I'll do the stop share there. Otherwise, it would just end up becoming a complete sermon about Vedic. Anyway, so what do you guys think about the information that I've just shared? What do you think about the video clip that I shared where I predicted what they were up to? And what do you think about the astrology that I've just shared there? So someone's saying here, I have faith it will end. Of course it will end eventually. In the end, it always does. No bad situation lasts forever, but no good situation lasts forever either. Let's have a look here. Hogarth, thanks for thinking of us and going live. Pride flower pansexual. All right. Why not? More the merrier. So here we are. Hi, Hogarth. Knowing how corrupt the Supreme Court is, when Trump contests the election in November, will they side with him? My short answer to that is yes. Yeah, most likely. Because look, this is why they were talking about the courts. Do you remember? And it was a very good argument at the time. Might be a little bit too late now. But you remember one of the things they said, stack the courts, help, balance it out. From what I understand, isn't it 6-3, something like that? So look, they're conservative, aren't they? And look, you've got Alito, you've got what's his face? What is it? Was it Kavanaugh? You've got Roberts, yeah, or the other one, but Roberts and Alito. Oh my God, yeah. So we even though it may not be, even though it's difficult to hear, like they say, judge them by their fruit. You shall know them by their fruit. Yeah, I'm sorry to get all Bible bash on it, but you know what I mean? But it's true. Just look at how they're behaving. I've just been watching them objectively and being like, no, they want to help him. So they like, this is a pre-arranged deal. Yeah. Trump has admitted it. He said, I brought you Roe versus Wade, all of this kind of stuff. It was a deal. Yeah, it was a deal. That's what it was. And let's see here. So someone says, flag this. It's been nearly a decade since I cursed anyone. last time it worked a little too well. Plus, I don't like the karmic blowback, but I am about to rain down a divine feminine on SCOTUS. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you for that. What you can do is, because there are karmic consequences, of course, for cursing people. You almost have to do it seems counterintuitive. You almost have to kind of like love bomb them almost. But this is more about raising the awareness, understanding. Many people are still asleep, as you know. Many people are not paying attention, and this is particularly for America. This is the not only just America, for the world. This upcoming election will be one of the most consequential in history, because so many people take their cues from America, don't they? They do. Like, if you think like Britain and America are very strongly allied, you know, if Duck Orange, gets in, my God, that's difficult. Yeah. Think of all the other people, other tin pot dictatorships that will be encouraged, around the world. That's why that debate was so important. And I know some people have just been like, oh, it's no biggie and stuff like that. I'm sorry, it is. It's absolutely monumental. The world, let me tell you, the world's media has been talking about that. It's not just stayed in the States. We live in a 24-hour news cycle now, as everyone knows. Everyone understands what's at stake here. They really couldn't be higher. But at least you're getting an idea with the energies. Remember, though, do remember this. You can grasp this Pluto energy to also make transformations. It's not all bad, yeah? But what Pluto is, one has to integrate the shadow. I see it too much, and I'm not going to name any specific channels, whatever, but I see it a lot, this projecting out. We have to do that shadow work, yeah? This is part of the reason why Duck Orange is, where he is, but this is also as well why there's certain blind spots in politics as well. That's also as a projection as well. It's not easy to accept some of these realities, but it's necessary if we're to go forward and grow. So it's not only America who's having to deal because they're having the Pluto return, but this is also as well, is conservatism, how much of a hold will conservatism have? In terms of, say, like with the UK elections, technically Labour, is supposed to be in the middle, a bit liberal, whatever, but he has sort of tacked more to the right. And now, of course, we've got the Reform Party, and our neighbours, France, just across the channel, is about to basically have a far right, thing come in. Does it mean the whole sky is going to fall down? Well, I mean, we'll have to see, but energy, folks, energy. Anyway, let me just see here. Yes, Lisa Scott, expect the unexpected. Yep, that's what I said, isn't it? I said, expect the unexpected. Someone's saying, I think we're in a good place. I feel good about the future. That's good as well. Understand that this is the transforming. This is the composting. All of the uck and iggy and the bleh has to come up. Yeah, we have to face it all collectively. The Tories, for example, are having to face their reckoning because of all of their corruption. Yeah, they're looking at an absolute wipeout. So if their power hasn't strengthened, it's actually weakened. Yeah, but in some countries, the far right is going to strengthen. And in other countries still, the more liberal side will strengthen because Saturn is in Aquarius, which tends to be a very liberal sign. So do you see, it's a mixed bag. So someone says here, I'm so burned out being optimistic. What I would say is it's just good to be realistic. Yes, you're actually happier. Do you know what I mean? Even though the thing I'm saying might sound a bit bleak, but believe me, it's like I'm a big believer in stoicism. Really, I'm a big believer in stoicism. And because it helps one get one through life. It really does. It really does. I'm not going to evangelize, but you know, you can look up stoicism in case you're not sure what it means. Right. Yes. So Rainbow Cleft is saying, oh, I get it. This is running pretty close to the events in Germany about 100 years ago. Yes, because where Pluto is soon going to be in it's in its sign of opposition to pretty much where it was discovered. Like when Pluto was discovered, it was at the real back end of Gemini going into the sign of Cancer. It's now in Capricorn. So yes, 100, yeah. In 2030, which is a very interesting date, which has not escaped my attention. You know, this is when they're talking about different kind of global resets and stuff like that. 2030 will be 100 years since the discovery of Pluto. Yeah, so there's a lot of energies, but I'm the firm believer in, like, was it Mark Twain? I think Mark Twain said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So it won't be exactly the same, but if we're constantly aware, we can also contribute to the positive changes of this energy as well, because Pluto is about transformation, alchemy, magic. Like I've been saying to everyone, go out and get your magical books. Yes, obviously I've got my, you know, astrological book, but I'm not the only one. Look, buy everyone's magical books, prayers, manifestations, how to shift this energy, to use this Pluto energy for your own personal alchemy. Of course, I'm doing my Pluto part, which is just by sharing and showing the energy, so that everyone is at least empowered and not confused, you know, why this is happening, and then they can begin to engage. Remember, when you change yourself, you change the world. It really is true. But we're now in this stage of integration of the shadow, where we have to be honest about what we say and see. Yeah. And, you know, no gaslighting as well on either perspective, because everyone trying to minimize down and trying to pretend that this is, you know, what happened recently, you know, with the debate wasn't important. I'm sorry, it's just not true. We're talking about this. The world is talking about this. We've been talking at this at length in Britain, and trust me, they're talking about it all over the world. Yeah, so this is a really big deal. So we need to be honest about the gravitas of the situation as well. I certainly hope Biden can pull it back, but he's really got to come out gangbusters. And it's all about the swing vote. Yeah, whoever's voting for Trump, that's their choice as well. And they're going to continue to vote for him because that's who they want. That's what democracy is. It's free will. Whoever's going to vote for Biden, they're going to vote for Biden. Of course, they're going to get behind Biden or whoever the candidate is, you know, in order, you know, to definitely, you know, to stop Trump. You know, Biden has he's achieved a tremendous amount. But you know, again, it's that Pluto, that kind of breakdown sort of like thing as well. Revise, recalibrate, reassess. Saturn has gone retrograde. Like I said, he's already stopped still. He basically started going retrograde like on those debates, or just half a day later. Pluto is also retrograde as well. So do you see, there's all of this review, and this is why I said, you'll see in the political landscape, particularly as we go through the year, a lot of recalibration, a lot of revision, a lot of review. So there'll be more surprises, yeah? But try not to give up hope. Just understand that this is a necessary transformation, the ick and the ugly all coming up, so that people can see it, face it, and start to take affirmative action. Yeah. Let's just see here. What did someone say here? Just Kendra, America's lawless, pretty much whatever you can manage to get away with. It does feel like that sometimes, but again, that's not me saying that. Obviously, I'm not in the United States, but I will be visiting, of course, for Santa Fe, which seems like a wonderful place. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be fabulous. So you see, look, I'm not canceling any of my plans and all of that kind of stuff. I'm still going to be coming to. Well, if Trump wins, that might be different, yeah. But life still has to go on. You still need to feed the pets, still need to feed the dog, feed the cat, do your shopping, etc. All of this stuff. So observe it, understand it, but also try to transmute it as well. But make sure you're also transforming yourself and just integrating these things and just seeing things as they really are. Yeah. Let's see here. Now that SCOTUS has, so KB says, now that SCOTUS has turned our republic into a dictatorship today. Yes. Oh yeah, you right. The American way, 1st of July 2024. I'm praying that Joe declares he is president for life or king. Now that it's legal according to SCOTUS. Yeah, that is a valid point. It is an absolutely valid point, because at the end of the day, like they say, you can't fight fire with fire. And I also predicted, and I'd have to find the video, but there was a video that I did, you guys might remember it, where I compared the charts of the GOP and the Democrats, and I think it was Biden and Trump or whatever. And do you remember I looked at the Democrats and I said, there's a big surprise there. I said there could be a big shock around the convention or whatever. All bets are off, guys. All bets are off. Unusual things. Like I said, that debate, I said it would be unusual. It's not going to be the result that people expected. And actually, inwardly, I knew that. I knew if I'd said that, people would have been so upset with me. But, again, I kept it tasteful. But for me, it was quite obvious that he wasn't going to have the best night. Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully he can turn it around and bounce back. But that is a very good point, because if they're going to do that, yeah, why not Biden just declare himself king and refuse to leave? Yeah, he doesn't have to leave. He doesn't have to leave office now. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. No, he's the current president. Do you know what I mean? We've seen the way the Supreme Court have gone, even though the other ones that were voted against it were scathing, but they're outnumbered. Yeah, they're outnumbered. So anyway, let's see here. We need both houses, and then they need to enact laws that SCOTUS cannot misinterpret to give the power to voters. Yeah, I mean, they're willfully. Then we know they are not talking in the spirit of the founding fathers. In fact, they were actually very, very clear. So it's very obvious what their agenda is. And remember as well, they're part of Opus Dei and all of this kind of stuff, and they're all there doing all of their cra and all of that kind of stuff. Here we are. So someone else, Spiritual Sean, is saying Biden should use immunity as a minimum. NBA threatening ways scare the bejesus out of all of them, including SCOTUS. Yeah, if I were Biden, with what's happened, I'll be getting my pen and getting my executive orders out. Yeah, because like they're basically for some it's under duress. But they've sided, like I said, the SCOTUS are trying to help Duck L'Orange. They really are. Let's see here. Christmas Angel saying, Dear Hug, I want to let you know that London is beautiful. People have to travel and experience the energy of London to understand and respect your government and the role of the monarch. Yes, it is a beautiful city. And I always say it. I'm a little bit biased, of course. I'm from London, but I say London in the sun is hard to beat, guys. Really is. Beautiful parks, palaces everywhere, all this stuff. Not that any other places aren't beautiful as well, but we are talking about London. Let's see here. Oh, look at this. So M. Wilson saying Oklahoma is forcing the teaching of the Bible in its public schools. Given the separation of church and state, will this be challenged in the courts? Well, let's have a look. Let's do a quick poll before I go. So do you see conservatism? Yeah, Capricorn is a conservative sign. That's where Pluto is. So, you know, we're seeing all of these things. And that's why it's so important when it was being called for at the time, which I think was the right call, when they said they needed to change the balance of the Supreme Court, add these more left-leaning appointments, shall we say. But I think that ship has sailed now, hasn't it? But those were wise people that said that at the time because they anticipated this. Anyway, let's see. Will it be overturned in court? Well, my God, well, given this SCOTUS, let's just see. Let's just see what the energy of that is. Oh God, this laptop of mine is just, I can't even pull the laptop down like I did before. Oh, there we are. A bit better. All right. Yeah, so it's better to know, folks. That's my job. Like I said, I was put on Earth to talk about this stuff, particularly to help the people with the star Regulus in sidereal Leo, in the heart of the lion, which is Archangel Raphael, and Famalat, which sits in sidereal Aquarius, and that's Archangel Gabriel. Oh, how interesting. Look at this. All right. So the question was, oh my God, this, I don't know why. Anyway, never mind. All right. So the question was, what is it again? 1 minute. Oklahoma is facing in the teaching of the Bible, forcing the teaching of the Bible in its public schools. Given the separation of church and state, will this be challenged in the courts? All right. So if we look here, there will be some consternation about this, yes, and backwards and forwards and stuff like that. But you see here, they're all wearing different colored tunics, and they're not all fighting in the same direction. So I think there will be some resistance. Yeah, there will be some resistance to this, wanting to do this. In the obstacle position, we have the King of Cups, which of course normally deals with an emotionally intelligent man, creative man, etc. and stuff like that, but it's turning up in the obstacle position. So this could be potentially Biden, yeah, because he often shows up in this way. You know, trying to kind of get in, maybe doing an executive order or something like that to kind of prevent it. But this could also be any creative or artistic or creative man who's emotionally intelligent. However, it is also in the obstacle position, so we can see it like this. So this card, when it's reversed, can also speak about manipulation as well. So I think this is talking about those that are fighting to manipulate, yeah, things, when it's supposed to be a separation of church and state. But it also means Biden or someone like him will also be an obstacle to them doing that. We look here, look, again, it's about partnership, marriage. But this is literally the deals, like the Two of Cups. When you're reading ordinary people's charts, this talks about relationships, but this really does talk about partnerships, relationships. This is also as well, if you see here, look, if we take this as the metaphorical marriage, yeah, because this card does deal with marriage, what do these people want? They want the reunification of church and state. Yeah, they want to marry the two back together again. We look here though, look, we see we've got the Eight of Swords here. So again, this deals with worry. This deals with like feeling like you're being held hostage. Yeah, I think this talks very much about the nation of America right now. Particularly Democrats are feeling like they're hostages to fortune. And if we look here, we got the outcome card here, which is the Queen of Wands. And again, wands, the wand suite I also associate with entrepreneurship, passion, all of this stuff. And the Queen of Wands is about getting organized, getting everyone together. Yeah, here as well, you see she's got her black cat here, her familiar showing her intuition. So this is actually gonna have a lot to do with women as well. Yeah, maybe women fighting this or protesting against this, etc. But you can see the intention. They basically want to marry church and state again. That's what they want. That's what the SCOTUSes want, or at least the corrupt ones. Remember, for entertainment purposes only, but they're all part of Opus Dei and all of this kind of stuff. You've got Ginny Thomas, Thingy Bob Thomas's wife. She's an absolute, box of frogs. On MSNBC, they had that guy from the Featherless Society or whatever. Oh my God, talking about Project 2025. So do you see, we've got these energies here. But in closing, because that's been an hour already, I can't believe how quickly it's gone. Remember, you can use these energies as well, but get your magical books, get prayer groups or intention groups together. Yeah, where you bring people together, set prayers and intention. There are good things happening in the world as well. But this is, we can't just sit back on this one. We can't be passive and just hope that everything's going to work out all right. Yes, things will work out all right in the end, but this is a critical time. So the magic, the thoughts, the prayers, the energies, the shadow work, the transformation, the mea culpa. Yeah, Pluto is, the virtue of Pluto is mea culpa, but it's also as well shamanism, the dark night of the soul. Yeah, but then coming up the other side, reborn. So remember to use those energies. All right, so here we are. So here, this is coming from Living Co-Create. I feel a woman will stop this addiction, dementia increasing, and a psychopath. Oh, I think she's talking about Trump. Psychiatrists say jail. They are incurable. Biden may claim early. Biden is the king. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. So, certainly hope so for America's sake. Let's see here. Someone's saying, I believe once you get on that court, the devil pays you a visit with a chest full of gold. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. And then finally here, Janie T saying, well done. The clip gives us a better understanding. So yeah, you could see the clip there. Hello, Patricia. Looking forward to seeing you in Santa Fe. Oh, and I'll be sending out that Zoom. I'll be chatting with you all because we're all in a group together. So we'll be doing that Zoom call soon in July, and then we'll have our one just a few days before we travel in August. So if anyone wants to hop on, you still can, but the cutoff is 7th of July. And then this one here is saying, Sonia H is saying, only presidential immunity for Christo-fascist presidents who the Supreme Court supports. Go listen to Historia Heather Cox, Richardson, Chilling. Resist, resist, resist. Yes, absolutely. So I will leave it there. Remember, alchemy, magic, resist. Saturn is in Aquarius, which is the sign of protest. Like literally, like, look, for entertainment purposes only. And I'm not inciting violence or anything like that. But resist, resist, resist. Think what that means. Peaceful protest. Stuff like that. There needs to be a loud clamor and noise here because it's very clear now, isn't it? Very clear on whose side certain members of the justices are. Yeah. So I will leave it there. Lest this clip go on for too long. I wasn't expecting to do a video today. Thanks so much for the support, everyone. I know it's not always, I don't do sugary messages, unfortunately, but I hope this is at least giving you clarity and to help you understand why this is happening to America, but why it's also happening around the world and how you can tap into those energies for the positive, for your own personal transformation. You change yourself, you change the world, and resist, resist, resist. Yeah? Just as they said there, and fingers crossed. Yeah? Mwah! Big love. I have to leave it there. got to rest this voice of mine. I've got clients tomorrow as well. I need to email them their Zoom links and stuff. So I'm going to do that now. And yes, I'll see you guys next, probably Thursday fry up, because I've done a video now, but I might have to do another one on Wednesday with the way things are going. Oh, I might have a collaboration. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now. Bye-bye.